Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearthstone 4 Kaiserreich against Ukraine. Let us continue on from where we last left off. So we managed to pass the relief bill, which is great news for us. So now we can start fixing Black Monday. I don't want you. I want 1918 support weapons. Okay. Skoropotchki's speech. As the nation becomes ever more polarized and awash with political violence, Hetman Skoropotchki has directly addressed Xiom in his speech. In it, he praised Xiom's ability to set aside political differences for the good of the nation, as demonstrated by the recent passing of the relief bill. The Hetman then urged Xiom to continue his current course and deal with the ongoing protests swiftly. While the Hetman's trust in Xiom has appreciated, many feel his words contain a veiled threat. If the Xiom fails to resolve the current crisis quickly, the Hetman will turn to more direct means without the Xiom. I definitely don't know if I'm saying this correctly, but that's okay. Do you think, look at that face. Do you think that face would ever, you know, deflect do you think he would ever betray us? I don't think so. He gives me 0.1 political power per day. How could he, you know, overthrow the government? Twice. Letter from the VSZ and the Protivs. Though the Xiom is jubilant with the recent passing of the relief bill, the same cannot be said for representatives of the VSZV and the Protivs. In a letter directed to Ottoman Minister Vashlev Kobochkai, principal figure of the VSZV expressed his great dismay in the direction of the government. After levying great criticism towards radical Democrats and certain agrarian Democrats, he stated that the relief bill would only weaken the nation in the long term, and that protest will not be dealt with at a stroke of a pen, contrary to what this crypto-syndicalist nonsense much to the Somme has peddled. They don't like us very much. They actually despise us. But hey, we got one military factory for free. And you know what? I was gonna say, let's build some tanks. Fuck it. Let's build a tank. We don't have a cannon on the tank. Give me heavy machine gun. Give me a 3-man turret. Yeah, let's start slowly. If we can get like one tank division on the field, I feel pretty okay with that. I know we don't have any template for you, and you also want me to build support equipment and air support, which also would make sense. Give me small airframe. Give me medium airframe as well. And you also need close air support. Well, I guess we don't need you then, right? Or does it want tactical bombers? It wants tactical bombers and close air support. So technically, it doesn't want a fighter. It wants us to... I guess we don't have an actual... Save as new. So I switch you over to this. Save it. No. Okay. Cancel you. Small airframe. Auto upgrade. That's a little bit too much. Give me... What do we want? Because we want bombing, right? I'll be honest, I don't really know the difference between bomb lock and... I'm guessing it just does more damage. Oh, no, you let me hit plane or boats. Or no, you let me hit ports. I don't care about ports. But I don't have any air experience. Okay, well, fuck me, I guess. Okay, cool. So I can still take these. But... Come to recover a month faster. Well, how long is that going to take? Like, how long? I don't know. Is it just you? While the spirit is active, we cannot join any foreign conflicts. Okay. If I were to take these, then would that increase borrowing? Political power goes down. Political power goes up, but we get more socialist support. I mean, we could. I mean, weekly stability going up. Actually, yeah, weekly. Give me export subsidies. Be done in 28 days. Weekly stability going up by 0.4 would be really, really nice. The severity in protests increase. As Ukraine enters August, things are only seem to get worse. And socialist politicians like Simon Petrulia, Isaac Mazepa, and Painos Federico call for the establishment of a parliamentary republic with socialist inclination on land reform and labor association. Why does... I just passed... the most important piece of legislation in Ukrainian history. And yet. Ugh, my god. Negotiation with the URPD. As nature stands on to bring chaos, the Hetman's attitude is clear. If the Som cannot defuse the situation, it will be sidelined. Guns will be drawn, and people, perhaps even Ukrainian democracy itself, will die. Understanding all this, Ottoman Minister Doroshenko has gathered a group of his most trusted men and started negotiating to solve the first problem: unity of the Shoim itself. Currently, the URPD seems to be the least understanding towards the VDR, bordering on outright sympathy. It's understandable. They have failed to pass their policies under Skoropadsky's watch, and to get their backing, that must change. In the negotiation between Doroshenko and Shulian, a hard bargaining was struck. Democratic reforms, anti-corruption measures, all in exchange for the URPD support. Fantastic. So we'll kind of see Central Hold's fall of the USKHD. Well, I would like things to not completely collapse. Like, maybe that's just me. Conflict within the coalition. Doroshenko's optimistic plans have not been received well by the right-wing. Boris Hosman has accused the Ottoman minister of worsening the crisis by not acting decisively and harshly. The SHD and parts of military proposed to the government to strike now and ignore stalling attempts by the liberals, which only gives the socialists more time to organize. Massive arrests and raids on the known VDR safe houses could decapitate the beast in one strike. If only the Ottoman minister was not so weak and indecisive. Find a peaceful solution. It already told me that if we went too far with the SHD, there would be consequences. And I don't know what those consequences are. My guess is that there would be some sort of a coup. Despite high hopes, the VDRs refuse any cooperation negotiation with us, citing the SHD as being a little more an outfit of robbers and murderers. The VDR. Well, can't win them all. You can't... Okay, well, there's our export subsidy, so that's going to get our weekly stability going up. We're getting 0.6%. Sounds great. Actually sounds wonderful. Ostwall. More supply range, huh? Breakthrough, air fleet. I mean, air experience would allow me to build those planes that I've been looking at. You also out extra military factories as well. German way of war, Russian way of war. The hour approaches. Okay. Well, we don't need to worry about that quite yet. I mean, the landmines in the Black Sea, that also sounds like that could be good, but something we would definitely want to worry at least a little bit later than in middle of 36. Cheaper guns. For 1,460 days, it's like 5 years, I think? So that's basically the entire campaign. It might as well be permanent at that point. Okay, well, I can't take these anymore. That's fine. So I guess give me the air fleet inspectorate. Give me my air power. I can then use that to build the close air support. Protests turned into riots. With the announcement that negotiations have collapsed, sporadic protests in the capital quickly turned into violent rioting, and soon enough, Kiev was in anarchy. Clash with the police escalated into protesters organizing the workers' guards, even taking control of many factions in the city, using them as makeshift forces against the military. The western countryside is even worse, as it quickly turned into the VDR's base of operations and practically lost to us. Their political propaganda blames the hetman for ending the negotiations, and declared that if Skoropadsky does not wish to listen to the people, he will listen to their rifles. At any chance, the peaceful outcome seems dead in the water now. Fantastic! Cool! Excellent! A massacre in Kiev. But things seemingly couldn't get any worse. The streets of Kiev ran red with blood. In Korokat Square, long hub of political rallies, workers and peasants took to the strike and demand release of political prisoners, and the arbitrary arrest and for the hetman to accept the VDR's social-political program. The police attempted to disperse the protests, but after a shot was fired, it was not sure if the shooter was a policeman or a protester. Chaos broke out. Police were bombarded with stones, and some protesters even had revolvers. Fire was answered, and in the end, dozens of protesters lay dead or wounded. While the full situation is yet to become clear, opposing political organizations declared the hetman and his government to be murderers, and has only emboldened the protesters. Very, very cool. Excellent, excellent. So this is going to be the second Ukraine playthrough in a row where I've kind of done the opposite of what I was looking out to achieve. Maybe. The news of the so-called Kiev massacre did not go unnoticed. The entire country is enraged, demanding justice for those killed and even a resignation of the government. Somewhat reluctantly, the URDP has gone into the opposition to our government, citing our recent actions. Some members, mostly to the right of the URDP, still believe in the cooperation of the hetman's coalition is better than cooperation with the VDR. Regardless, the influence of the SHD has grown. Their repeated attacks on the VDR, decrying them as too unreliable and radical, has been vindicated in the eyes of many within the coalition. Which one of you is the VDR? I thought it was like one of you, but I don't actually know. Okay, so you got 1 infantry. Let's deploy you into Red Army, please. Because I know like this is not a completely secured border against Russia at the moment. Revolutionary mood sweeps the country. Before August, the situation was almost calmed down. But after martial law, the Republicans have only escalated their campaigns. Thousands of people have been arrested already, but it's not helping much. Large parts of the West, especially around Rovno, have been particularly outside of jurisdiction for the past months, with local peasant militias acting as law enforcement. The cities have been kept under a tighter leash, but violent clash between armed forces and the police have gone more and more common. Worryingly, the revolutionary mood has also affected the military. There have been disappearances as soldiers have left their station and went home. Some garrisons, large number of rifles have gone missing. And one unit in Avicena refused to follow orders and disarm the strikers. And instead, their captain ordered the men to stand down and stay in the barracks. This kind of insubordination has become more and more common in the West, and rooting out has been slow. Orders have been given to lay off the most unreliable officers and move some of the units away from the most unstable regions. But with sporadic railway strikes, movement of troops across the country has been slow. Very cool. How do I deal with this situation? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Okay, Jamoshmir declared war on Nej. Again, I still want to side with Germany, no matter what. Being aligned, we'll crush the revolution. Are we gonna wait? Okay, I'm gonna do a little save game here because I want to make sure we're not screwing myself over, which is entirely possible. Something I could do. Anti-Hetman revolt, looming Reichspakt intervention, the Odessa uprising, completes flames of rebellion. What the hell is that one? Flames of rebellion. You. Okay. Fires of revolution. The discontent misery has finally reached a breaking point. The Hetman's response to that brutality and indifference, it is clear that he must be overthrown for the situation to improve. In a night of violence and chaos, the armed VDR militia attacked government buildings and military barracks, killing local politicians and freeing their imprisoned comrades. The director of Ukrainian People's Republic has been declared by Simon Petrov and other VDR members at Rovno, and they have demanded the Hetman abdicate, allow for free and democratic elections, and redistribute lands to the farmers. To support these demands, the VDR has started to organize the Ukrainian People's Army, which is rapidly taking control of the western countryside as local peasant militias have joined it. Spreading like wildfire, the revolution is rapidly gathering support from all across the country, and Speransky has announced that the elections will be delayed until the situation is stabilized. You know what? Let's crush the revolution. So you hate me at the moment. Rebels advance, Odessa in flames, mobilize Cossack units. Anti-insurgery operations. Go, 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 go. So we've got a little bit of a civil war going on in Ukraine at the moment. So we can't do Dreams 1917. Mistakes of 1925. You know what? Let's just do the mistakes of 1925. I feel like that's a decent middle ground. Because I don't want to... I don't think we want to go like full dictatorship here. Despite the conservative mentality of the Ukrainian armed forces fostered by 20 years of political promotions, many soldiers have at least sympathies to the VDR. Mutinies are widespread, and anti-Hetman leaflets have been distributed in some units. Upper-class officers have been arrested or lynched by the soldiers after receiving orders to fight the VDR's peasant militias in the western countryside. And some military units have disbanded entirely, either through mutiny or full-scale defection. The bulk of the Ukrainian army has been situated in the east at the Russian border, far away from the center of agitation, and they are now being transferred to the west to bolster the government's forces as Skrbensky's trump card. However, the road is long, and much of the railways are under militia control. If these reinforcements arrive in the west, it will be a change to the balance considerably. Division speed minus 100%. Well, I mean, theoretically, I could just move these units to the other side of the country like this, and then have them move and then press this button. But I feel like that's going to be a little bit cheating, so let's just do it this way. Oh, so apparently minus 100% is not, they don't move. Okay. Berlin demands answers. Ugh. The German ambassador in Kiev met with the headman today and demanded a clear answer to be relayed to Berlin. Are Ukraine's police and army able to handle the situation? They have already been calls for intervention from the German military and the right wing, and now they demand assurances or official requests for aid. As the situation on the ground is still very confusing, it's hard to say what's going on, as the only sporadic peasant revolts are the beginnings of a proper civil war. I assure you that everything's under control. You know what? We'll call you if we need you. So, request Reichsbank intervention. Well, I would prefer... Calling the Reichsbank to crush revolt should be considered the last resort, but all other options have already been exhausted. Doing so will no doubt be a great blow to the Hetman's legitimacy. Look, Germany. Rebels cut off Brest-Litov. The city of Revamped became the first city to fall in the rebel hands. There was little resistance, as much as most of the garrison had mutinied or even joined the VDR's peasant militia. The city's Jewish Polish majority welcomed the Republican forces with cheers. With stronghold established, the main railway from Kiev to Brest was cut. Not wasting any time, the People's Army started to advance in every direction. The most critical situation was in Brest-Litov, as the city cannot be reinforced, and the countryside around it quickly declared its allegiance to the Republican government. The commander is requesting permission to ask help from the Polish army right across the border, arguing that it is the only way to hold the city. It is true that the rebels would most likely avoid attacking foreign soldiers, in fear that it would give the Polish army jurisdiction to support the hetman. However, relying on foreign forces may also be a sign of weakness from the hetman. The alternative option is to forbid them from such desperate pleads, and vaguely promise support as long as they hold the city. So Brest-Litov is here, up towards the north. Don't message them. I can deal with this, okay? I can deal with the situation. We don't need more trains at the moment, though. Reinforces from the east. Okay. Affects 43 days, removes army in chaos. Minus 100% speed, but 100% speed is not 0. I guess maybe because they're I don't know, but either way, things are okay. Give me just one row of these units actually is fine. So rebels advance in 6 days. We've got 13 days to mobilize the Cossack and anti-insurgency. Brest-Litov is surrendered. Brest-Litov's orders were clear to resist the rebels until the last bullet. It didn't take much for the commander's spirit, though. Some of the garrison mutinied, saying that they would not shoot their countrymen. Combined with heavy public pressures from the population, they decided to order surrender, lay down their weapons. Well, I mean, currently their strength's at 30. We need to lower the VDR strength below 10 before we conduct a counteroffensive. Once we do so, we will be victorious. Okay. You'll be done in 20 days. These will be done in 10 days. The Brody Road. Well, actually, I need to do one of these things. Let's do the mistakes of 1925. We'll mend the situation, okay? The Brody Road. Our talent services have identified a major Republican supply route running from Liev to Brody in the Galicia-Lotymirian side of Dovno and Ravine on our side. Through this route, men and equipment have been transported to Ukrainian side of rebel-friendly organizations and the Austrian side, apparently thanks to friendly or incompetent border guards. Our own border controls have caught some amount of these smugglers. Without cooperation from Austria's side, it is very hard to put a stop to this. Yes, Austria, don't allow this to happen. I mean, I know you also want to get Poland on your side, but still. Add 10 days to reinforce from the east. Negative 20? We're at 2, so I don't know how this really works. I guess I don't have these options, huh? You go down by 5, so let's get them down by 10. You boost it up by 5, so we're still taking a negative 5 overall. Leader partisans do not take risk. This is honestly not so bad. Actually, no, I need to get rid of it because then it decreases by 10. And that would be good. Odessa is over here. Okay, they have taken another state, which is probably like not what I wanted to see. Okay, circle around them, please. 13 days. The Odessa commune. That seems bad. Okay, 2 days, 1 day. Just get it down to 10 more points. We need political power. I don't have political power. Weakness goes up by 1. Political power goes up by 0.01. This allows us to reach out to the URPD, appeal to pacifism. I mean, there's some good stuff in here. For sure. Kind of. Greece to join the Belgrade Pact. That's not a big deal. It'll be done in 34 days. This will go by... I mean, this all seems bad. Rebels are going to advance to this state, which is maybe a little awkward. The Odessa Commune. Odessa, the second largest city in Ukraine, has already been paralyzed by a dock worker strike for weeks. The strikers have erected barricades to center roads, and the Boro-based organized guards have essentially fortified the port of Odessa. And there was tense negotiations with the city officials loyal to Kiev. When the news of open rebellion in the north arrived at the city, all hell broke loose. The Boro-based wanted an immediate revolution and told the siege of the city. Their more moderate allies still believed that the Heaven would give up under the pressure. This changed when the mutiny broke out on board the destroyer Bresetia, which promptly opened fire on army checkpoints erected around the harbor. Only hours later, Boro-based seized control of much of the city's infrastructure, such as a radio station and northern roads to the city. Cool, cool. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So we're at 40 points here. Secure military apparatus. 60 points? Okay. Look, we're going to give the military a little bit more support. I know it seemed maybe like a bad idea, but I need this to go down, because this gets it down by 10 days. No, 15 days. So actually, that might have it complete, like, immediately, which is good. It also gives us the command power we need to secure other positions. Authorized bombing. I mean, that doesn't sound like a great thing to do, but what can you do? what can you do about that? The rebels are going to advance another point. They advance so fucking fast, man. Anti-insurgency operations. Does not have army and chaos, which is you. And that's completed immediately. Okay, they're down now. They're back down to 30. 21 days, 10, 5. And then you are by 5 as well. But you get stability when you're finished. So of course, we want to reinforce Kiev. That's a negative 10. We cannot do this because we're reinforcing Kiev, but we can do anti-insurgency operations. Get that done. Cool. We have another unit. Please join Red Army. The rebels are going to advance another province, I believe. I think they took here. I'm not too sure exactly where they went, but overall it seems bad. Also, yes. So you're basically forcing them. Let's reach out to the URDP. Look, man, we're on the same side, right? Hypothetically speaking. These will all finish on the exact same time. That'll get it down to 25, I believe. We need 80 points to do a counterattack. How am I going to build command power? What the hell are you talking about? Like, I have, like, no political power. Like, that's just not going to get anything done. Negotiate the VDR surrender. Pacifistation will take less time. Appeal to pacifism. Or undermine their legitimacy. We give me 50 political power, but we can use that to do at least one of these upgrades. Let's do promises of reform next. Disunity within the VDR. The liberal URDP is an outlier in the VDR by siding with the largely socialist parties. And in the past, they've often allied with the Hetmanate. It is clear that they have been driven into this radical position by constant failures of authoritarianism of the Hetmanate regime, but it's also a relationship that could be fixed. They have accepted to take part in a secret negotiation with us, being promised important government positions and increasing electoral freedoms after the unrest has died down. There were additional agreements not persecuting URDP members or other moderates for taking part in the rebellion. After this concession, the UDPR was started to urge their supporters to work for more peaceful solutions and refrain from further violence except for defense. Okay, they go down by 5. We get more stability. We're at -1 overall, but we're now down to 15. That is good. Boom, boom, boom. We love to see that. But I do think... Remote loyalist officers. That gives us command power. Let's do anti-socialist campaign. Followed by mobilized Cossack units. Then we need 80 points for the counterattack, which seems difficult to achieve. I'll be honest with you. Give me Excavation 1. I know it's a little weird, but trust me on this one. But I do think that at least for right now, this would be a good time for us to end off this episode. So if you've enjoyed, thumbs up. Not enjoyed, thumbs down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.